The sun hung heavy over Eton in July 1876, scorching the fields and shrinking the Thames to a sluggish ribbon of mud and mystery. In a stately house nestled behind the cloistered walkways of Eton College, the kitchen was a kingdom ruled by Mrs. Beatrice Halliwell, a cook whose broad frame and sharper tongue commanded respect. Her pantry, stocked with cold meats, tarts, and a prized wheel of Wensleydale, was her pride until it became her battlefield. For weeks, provisions had vanished nightly. A leg of mutton one evening, a tray of gooseberry tarts the next, and, most gallingly, the entire cheese, its wax rind left mocking her on the shelf. The household, led by the haughty Lady Arabella, blamed rats. Beatrice, with her keen eye and keener suspicions, knew better. Beatrice was no fool. At 50, she'd outlasted floods, fevers, and 3 masters of the house, her hands calloused from years of kneading dough and wielding a cleaver. Rats didn't carve neat slices or leave crumbs arranged like a taunt. This was human work, bold and brazen, and she'd wager her best copper pot it was the bargees, those river rats who plied the Thames, liberating goods from waterside homes as they passed. The house sat close to the river, its larder window a tempting target for a quiet skiff under moonlight. Beatrice's blood simmered at the thought, but she kept her counsel, her face a mask of calm as she scrubbed pots and planned her trap. The opportunity came unexpectedly. In the scullery, a litter of newborn pups, sired by the kitchen's mouser, squeaked in a basket. Their mother, a wiry terrier named Pip, growled at anyone who drew near. Lady Arabella, whose disdain for chaos rivaled her love of silk, wrinkled her nose at the noise and mess. "Drown them," she ordered, her voice cold as the Thames in winter. "We'll have no mongrels underfoot." Beatrice nodded, her expression obedient, but as she carried the basket to the river's edge, her mind turned to the larder. Pity was a luxury she'd rationed long ago, but vengeance, she could afford that in spades. Back in the kitchen, Beatrice worked with grim precision. She cleaned the pups, her hands steady, and simmered them with onions, carrots, and bay leaves, the aroma deceptively rich. She encased the lot in a short crust pastry, golden and buttery, its dome flawless. The pie, unlabeled and uncovered, sat on the larder shelf like a lure, its scent drifting through the open window. Beatrice bolted the door but left the latch just loose enough to tempt a thief. Then she waited, her cleaver at hand, her eyes fixed on the shadows beyond the glass. By midnight, the pie was gone. The latch hung askew, the shelf bare, and a faint splash echoed from the river, a skiff retreating into the dark. Beatrice's lips twitched, not in a smile, but in something colder. She said nothing to the household, who noticed only that the rats had ceased their raids. The larder was secure, the bolts doubled, and Beatrice's silence was a wall none dared breach. A week later, the story broke like a wave in a Marlow tavern, where bargees swapped tales over ale. A man named Tom Gutter, red-nosed and foul-tempered, was ranting about the worst bloody pie in England. His crew, known for pilfering from Eton's grand houses, had moored under Marlow Bridge, their skiff heavy with stolen goods. Among them was Beatrice's pie, its crust dented from the journey but still tempting. They'd cracked it open, expecting a feast, only to choke on the truth mid-bite. Tom had retched over the side, his face green, while another bargee, a wiry lad called Jem, wept, muttering about a dog he'd loved as a boy. The pie, half-eaten and soggy, was left under the bridge, its dish a silent accusation. The tale spread like wildfire along the Thames. In Eton, Schoolboys leaned over railings, their voices shrill with glee as they taunted passing barges, who ate puppy pie under Marlow Bridge. The barges, usually quick with a curse or a fist, rode on in silence, their faces grim. The river, low and muddy, seemed to mock them, its banks whispering of secrets better left buried. In Marlow, the dish was retrieved by a curious innkeeper, who displayed it above his bar, dubbing it the pie of shame. Patrons laughed, but their eyes darted to the shadows, as if the pie's maker might be watching. Beatrice heard the stories through the kitchen maids, who giggled over the barge's disgrace. She said nothing, her hands busy with dough, her cleaver flashing as she jointed a hair. But late at night, when the house slept, she'd stand by the larder, her fingers tracing the new bolts. The Thames lapped at the garden's edge, its waters carrying the echo of her triumph. She'd won, not with words, but with a pie that spoke louder than any shout. Years passed, and Beatrice grew old, her hair greying, her hands slower but no less sure. The household changed. Lady Arabella died, her son took her place, but the larder remained inviolate. Its bolts a testament to Beatrice's cunning. The story of the puppy pie became legend, recorded in a journal she kept, its pages hidden in the kitchen's false-bottomed flour bin. New cooks, eager for gossip, would beg for the tale, but the staff hushed them. "Don't prod old stories," they'd warn, their eyes on the river. Some pies have teeth. On quiet nights, when the Thames ran low, boys still shouted from Eton's bridges, their voices carrying to Marlow, who ate puppy pie. And the bargees, older now, rode on, their silence heavier than the mudflats. Beatrice, long retired, would sit by her cottage window, the river in view, and smile, a small, sharp thing, like the edge of her cleaver. The Thames knew her secret, and it kept it well. Many thanks for treading this tale's dark path. If its chill gripped you, like follow, subscribe and comment below.